Everything you believe about who you are is a lie. That personality you think is set in stone, not only is it a lie, but it's a complete fabrication. A set of things you were either told you are, taught to believe, or made to believe about yourself as a coping mechanism for coping with your environment. The you that you've been battling is nothing more than a mask. The ancient Greeks call it persona, a role an actor plays. It's like a heavy coat you've been wearing, that feeling of being unwanted or that constant struggle with money. It isn't you. In this video, I'll show you why fighting your old identity isn't necessary at all. I'm going to show you how to take it off for good, not through struggle, but by realizing it was never your truth to begin with. If you're new here, hello, I am your Muse Traci. On this channel, I help you unlock the power you already have but can't access. I help you break through where years of trying has failed. And the biggest hurdle of all, I help you go from intellectually knowing the law to permanently embodying it. I spent years doing all the right things and getting surface level results. It's very frustrating. When I finally discovered what was actually creating my reality and why I kept struggling in certain areas, everything changed. Now I help people break the patterns keeping them stuck, and I help them start manifesting the love, the money, the joy, the success they always have known they're meant for. So let's get clear about what this coat or mask really is, because misunderstanding this, it keeps people stuck. So what is it? It is a collection of programmed overlays, stories you learned to tell about yourself. I'm not a morning person. I'm just an anxious person. I'm not good at relationships. I'm not good with money. These feel like fundamental truths, but they are not. No one is born with these limitations. They are learned programs. In fact, every problem you have is something you learned. Think of your brain as a computer running on software. If you felt left out as a child, it wrote a program. Being quiet keeps me safe. If you saw your parents stress about money, it wrote a program. Money is scarce. Understanding the origin of the program is the first step to releasing its hold. The problem is that old programming is still running. This is why changing your habits without changing your identity is like trying to, I don't know what it's like. It's a losing battle. Society encourages us to fight our old habits, but that's like trying to break the mask while you're still wearing it. The real work is simply realizing it's a mask and then taking it off because it's not you. The mask isn't you, never was. You put it on, you can take it off. And science backs this up. We now know that identity development is continuous and lifelong. It's not only just fixed in childhood. The phrase neurons that fire together, wire together is the biological explanation. That heavy coat is just a series of well-trodden neural pathways. When you fight your old self, you're just reinforcing those old pathways. What if instead you just built a new one based on who you truly are? So, how do we take the mask off in our day-to-day lives? It's not a single grand gesture. So, let's go through some practical steps. Step 1. The first step is to stop identifying with the thoughts and feelings of the old self. You are not your thoughts. You are the one aware of your thoughts. And this is a very important distinction to make. This isn't about judging or suppressing. It's about becoming a neutral observer. When the old thought, I'm not wanted, appears, your job is to recognize it as a thought that was never true. Your job is to notice it. You become the pattern spotter. When a financial worry appears, you say, There it is. The money struggle program. It's running. By labeling it as the program, you create space. You disidentify from it. You see that you are not it. Yes, it's running, but you can see that it's just a program. It's not who you truly are. Never was, never can be. So you create that space and you just choose. Yes, I used to believe this, but I no longer choose to believe this. It's a pattern that I am observing. And if I'm observing a pattern, I can change the pattern. To make this practical, at the end of each day, take 5 minutes and just sort of reflect. No deep analysis is really necessary here. You just answer some questions. So, when did I notice the unwanted pattern today? When did I notice the scarcity pattern? How did this pattern feel in my body? Right? You are practicing the art of observing the mask without judging, getting to know it as an object separate from you. Step 2, remembering the truth about yourself. Now, you need to know what is true about you in this process. And the truth is what is true always, right? Truth is always true, not just on Sundays. And not just in this physical lifetime either. It's always, no time. It's just truth. Truth is true always. The only things that are true always are that you are infinite, eternal, powerful, divine, and absolute perfection. This is the real you that exists underneath the mask. This is where you remember who you truly are. This isn't about inventing a new you. You don't need to. It's about remembering your unwavering, limitless nature. You are not becoming worthy. You are remembering you have been all along, right? So let's create a couple of examples. For unwanted, unvalued, the old story is I have to earn acceptance. The new story, I am infinitely wanted and chosen. My value is inherent and divine. For any money struggles, money is hard to come by. That's probably the old story. And the new story is I am abundance. Money flows to me with ease. So feel the difference in these statements. These aren't just affirmations. They are declarations of eternal truth. Now, you can also use askformations, asking a question that presupposes this is already true. So something like, why am I so easily and naturally chosen and valued? Why does money flow to me so easily and consistently? And with this question, you're giving your brain a new empowering directive based on this unchanging truth. Step 3, this is where the shift becomes permanent. So you're going to embody the new identity with small, tiny, incremental acts. And this is where it becomes permanent. An identity isn't just a thought. It's something you do. You put into action. Every action is a vote for the person you are. But you don't need massive changes all at once. The secret here is consistency, not quantity. Your task is to ask yourself, what would the person who is loved or already abundant do right now? And then take a tiny 1% more aligned action. And this is not about being fake. It's about rehearsing your true self into existence. You might have to practice a little bit because you've been practicing the old thing, right? That only became your norm because you practiced it, believe it or not. So now we're just going back to practicing what was already true. But again, it still requires some practice because you've been practicing this other thing. So you have to rehearse until it becomes your new normal. If your new identity is infinitely wanted and valued, the old pattern is to reread the text you're about to send 10 times, right? The new self trusts their expression and sends it. That's a tiny act. The old pattern says yes to a plan you didn't want to, and the new one says thank you, but not this time. If your new identity is infinite abundance, the old pattern sees a $6 coffee as frivolous, not okay. The new self might buy it with gratitude, a tiny vote for the belief there is always more than enough. The old pattern avoids the bank account. The new self looks calmly, sees numbers as neutral information, and doesn't react. It's not a judgment on their worth. Each of these tiny acts forges a new pathway. At first, it might feel like you're totally faking it. That's okay. Remember, we have to practice. But with consistency, your true identity becomes more automatic than the old one because it was always true. So the mask is off. Now what? There will be days you feel a pull to put it back on. It, again, is familiar and maybe even feels comfy and cozy. This pull to put it back on is not failure. This is just the old programming trying to hang on. Your job isn't to eliminate the pull. Your job is to stop acting on it. Acknowledge it. See that the pull is there and consciously choose the new decision. You can say things like, I see you, old story. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm no longer available for that reality because it isn't truth. To make this sustainable, you must contrast your source of identity. Society often encourages us to identify with external roles and achievements, our job, our status. The easy way, the way I'm teaching you in this video, emphasizes identifying with internal, unchanging truths about yourself that are, again, you are infinite, eternal, powerful, limitless, and perfect. Now, finally, and this is really important, be patient with yourself in the messy middle of identity changes. It's not a snap of the finger, okay? The space between letting go of the old and fully embodying the new, your job is to keep showing up as your true self and keep choosing who you now decide to be. Be consistent, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Those are the days that matter absolutely the most. If for years you've believed that changing your life and your identity was a difficult battle against yourself, this easy way that I'm showing you is not a battle. It is a revelation. It's the realization that the struggle was never with you. It was just a mask you were handed and accidentally identified yourself with. The process is simple. Observe the old program without judgment. Remember the eternal truth of who you are, and take tiny daily actions that align with your truth. You don't fight the old one. You simply take off the mask. Once it's off, then you're free to just choose again. Let the mask fall away so you can choose the person you were always meant to be. So, what is one mask you're ready to take off? If this resonates and you're ready to make this shift permanently and you want my help and support, you can book a free strategy call with me to see if we're a good fit to work together. There's a link in the pinned comment and in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you watching. I'll see you in the next video.